Yes.
Torque converter? Is that what it was? Oh, no, that was just,
That was the automatic transmission transaxle control.
yeah. Okay, any particular part?
Can we like, can you put up some test questions up there and without us looking at our answers, maybe try to answer them?
Oh, you mean the, for that chapter?
Yeah, just put it up there and see if we could answer it by memory.
Like yesterday when I left here,
Okay,
I had got a $45 order from this Smith's already.
okay.
Alright.
Know what you're looking for?
Yep.
All right.
Technician A says the gears in the planetary gear set are in constant mesh. Technician B says a planetary gear set has a ring gear and a pinion gears, which is correct.
Is it both?
Pinion gears could be called also carrier or planetary carrier or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's your planet carrier, yeah.
Yeah, it's both because,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's good.
Technician A says the one planetary gear set can provide gear reduction, overdrive, and reverse. Technician B says that most transmissions today use compound multiple planetary gear sets.
No, that's not true, is it? I don't think so. Because that multiple compound one was the question I had earlier, and that was, what page is that? That was the revenue,
Simpson, there
and
was three of them.
Lapierre.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're on number
Are we
2.
on two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One
So,
planetary gear set can provide gear reduction, overdrive, and reverse.
yes.
Yes, okay. Most of them today use multiple planetary gear sets.
No.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
They do? Oh, they do? What page is that?
Because if it only had one, you'd only have an old style 3-speed transmission. Transmissions nowadays are 6, 8, 10 speed.
Yes, that's right, okay. That was, okay.
Okay. Both of those are correct.
Number 3, automatic transaxles include a blank in addition to the planetary gear sets.
What is it? Someone in the back. Don't tell me you got a headache again. Really?
I get them frequently.
Is it
Okay, we're on 3. Do you know the answer to 3, or are you in too bad a shape to worry about it? What did you say it was?
C?
C?
Yeah.
What is C? Differential assembly? Who thinks it's C?
It is C, but what is a differential?
It is C. What is it?
Yeah,
But don't all vehicles have a differential?
They do.
So,
Depends on where it's located.
so automatic transaxles include a
All you need to know
differential-
about this is that means it's front-wheel drive.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. Automatic transaxles include a differential assembly in addition to the planetary gear. Okay, so but see, that's why I'm still questioning, because they all have differential. So,
If it's a transmission, it does not have a differential. It is actually in the back, powered from the effort shaft to the differential through a drive shaft.
okay,
A transaxle is front-wheel drive only.
okay, okay, thank you.
If you look on, let me see, where do you find that?
Review of chapter 133.
You'll see it on 1686. Differential, also called final drive unit. That is where your drive axles will connect.
You said 1686?
Yeah, in the picture,
Oh, the picture up top?
differential final drive.
Okay? Differential assembly, also called final drive unit in that particular situation.
Okay. All right, so transaxle with differential.
Mhm.
Number 4.
Number 4.
During which of these conditions is the torque converter clutch engaged?
Speeds over 25 miles per hour.
A.
Using a torque converter smaller than stock size could result in
Reduce fuel economy. Faster than, yeah, D.
slower than normal, fast. Wait, yeah, C, B, and C. Faster than normal.
The smaller, the more rotation.
CCC.
CVT changes gear ratios by changing the
Yeah,
diameter.
the drive.
Right?
Torque converter clutch increases efficiency by
Torque converter clutch increasing efficiency. Torque. Allowing quicker starts in first gear. B.
Slippage?
Eliminating converter slippage. Number 8.
Technician A says automatic transmissions can shift gears without requiring an interruption of power flow. Technician B says automatic transmissions use synchronizers
Both.
instead of
C.
planetary gear sets.
C.
Is A
A.
right?
If it's not C, it's definitely A.
Automatic transmission use planetary gear set something.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't even
okay.
sound right for
Okay.
me.
Where are we, 9?
Number 9.
Two technicians are discussing automatic transmissions / transaxles. Technician A says that it is normal for a vehicle to move slightly when the gear selector is in the drive position with the brakes released. That's called creeping. Technician B says that the stator
Technician A.
Later, yeah.
may be defective in the vehicle if the vehicle moves. So he's saying the opposite of what A is saying, right?
Technician A.
Defective in the vehicle. Idle speed. Idle speed, just it's stopped,
Yes,
right?
it's technician A because it should be doing that if it's in idle speed.
It should be
It shouldn't
moving.
be defective.
It's in drive, but you're
Yeah.
not pressing the gas.
Is it normal for your vehicle to move slightly when you start it up? Put it in drive, let your foot off brake? Of course it is.
And that's
This
the
guy
same
says
thing.
that stator's defective that does that. No, it's
It's not.
supposed to do that, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
What is the purpose and function of a lockup part of the torque converter?
A.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
The next chapter, 134.
134.
Can we go through the questions?
Sure. You just want to go to the question?
Yeah. So I didn't understand the first 2 chapters.
Okay. 134.
Technician A says that the governor is used to measure vehicle speed in a hydraulically controlled automatic transmission. I don't know what a governor is.
That's what regulates speed.
Technician B says that the difference between hydraulically controlled and electronically controlled automatic transmissions is the way that the shift points are controlled.
It's C.
I gotta read through 134 again.
Shift pointer. Yeah. Wait. Control automatic
Difference
transmission
between
is the way the
hydraulic-
shift points are controlled.
Is the way that the shift points are controlled.
Yeah, wouldn't it be C?
Is
The
it C?
way shift points are
Is that what you
controlled.
think?
If it's not, then I know for a fact it's A. I'm pretty sure C is the correct answer.
It is the correct
Yeah,
answer.
because hydraulic and electronic both shift them at the same time.
Okay, so hydraulically controlled transmission, that means it's gonna have a governor, it's gonna have a modulator. Gonna have a, what's the other one?
Hmm?
If it's hydraulically controlled, it's gonna have a governor for the
Yeah.
speed, have a vacuum modulator, and it's going to have, what was the other one?
What's a governor?
I forget.
That's what regulates the speed, and the governor is pretty much like a speed regulator, right? Like it keeps it under a specific speed, so
Well,
it
it
doesn't
doesn't.
completely rev.
What it does is it will change the shift points based on the vehicle speed.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't actually measure the speed, but
changes the
it
shift points
uses the vehicle speed,
based on
that's
the
the output shaft.
Got you.
So it uses the vehicle speed to decide how it's calibrated, when the shift points are gonna occur.
Got you. So, it's not a theoretical question, it's an actual question. So there's this kid in my neighborhood who's really, really smart with like motors on like little mini bikes and everything like that. He has like 6 of them. He builds mini bikes and go-karts. And I was talking to him a couple weeks ago, and he told me he's gonna do a governor delete on the engine. And I was like, what does that do? He was like, makes it faster. So it just makes it faster?
It's different than on the track.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I can imagine that.
yeah,
What medicine did you say they had?
I'm sorry,
What medicine did you say they had?
Aspirin.
something like that.
Where I get it
You want me to go, get you some?
from? Yeah, please.
Okay. Give me a second, I'll be right there. Okay, so while we're doing that, you can look at the next 2 questions, I guess.
I'll scroll it if we need it.
All right,
Technician A says that the transmission hydraulic pump operates only when the vehicle is in motion. Hydraulic pump operates only when the vehicle is in motion. Technician B says the transmission hydraulic pump operates when the engine is running. Aren't they saying the same thing?
No, motion is like driving.
Transmission hydraulic pump operates only when the vehicle is in motion.
So the second one is stop.
Technician B says the transmission hydraulic pump operates when the engine is running.
Hydraulic
Isn't it
pump.
B? It's the pump.
No, it's only,
Hydraulic pump operates when the
Hydraulic pump. What does that do?
he said something, it's not only one.
It's hydraulic, wouldn't that mean it's, what's it called, powered by a belt? So if that's hydraulic, if the motor's running, it should be both.
yeah,
How are we gonna know the answer?
Well, in motion is when it's driving and running is when it's idling.
We got the answers yesterday. It's B.
So it's technician, what do you want?
Technician B only.
So when it's running, it works, but when it's in motion, it doesn't work.
He said in order for the car to run, it has to operate.
And you see it
Oh,
says
yeah, you're right.
only, it says only.
You're
See
right.
A, it says only when,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
only, yeah.
Technician A says most transmission hydraulic valves are spool valves. Technician B says the recessed area of a spool valve are called grooves. Which technician is correct?
Don't look at your answer.
I'm gonna grab my sheet so I can make sure you guys get it right.
Right. What is it? Tell me. Right now.
Most hydraulic valves are spool valves. It says the recessed area of spool valves are called grooves. Would it be both?
Valves are spool valves. Number 3 is C, both.
Which one is this? 134?
Yeah.
Got you.
I got 10 out of 10 on this one.
Number what? 4? Don't look at your answers.
Which valve is controlled by the position of the gear shift selector? Be manual. I think.
Position of the gear shift selector.
Yeah, cause that's manual, you're doing it yourself. Which of these is the most current version of GM's Dextron ATF?
I remember the 6.
Yeah, I do too.
Was that a sneeze?
No.
That was a lot.
What?
Park controls mainline pressure in an electronically shifted automatic transmission.
Mainline pressure.
Goes with the
Electronic.
answer.
Solenoid is an output and it's electronic.
What part controls mainline pressure?
Pressure control.
Solenoid, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Force motors are controlled by the computer by PW.
Yeah. Pressure with modulator?
Huh?
What is
Pressure,
PW now?
pressure with modulator. That's what it stands for, right?
Yeah, pressure width modulator.
We're on 8.
Technician A says the default or limping gear is usually second or third gear. True. Technician B says that transmission, clutch, band, and solenoid charge show the technician what is being applied to each gear. Also true. I think it's C.
That a transmission, clutch, band, solenoid shows the technician.
job.
Can't help you, man, sorry. I couldn't find it. And then I asked somebody. and
Is
they
it both?
said, "Oh, what do you want?"
Yeah.
I said, "It's not for me." I said, "Oh, we're not allowed to give out anything like that with you, so."
Technician
Can't
A
help
says.
you.
Technician A says that the mainline.
Oh, I know
pressure
the
is usually
answer.
Higher in manual versus gear
Pick me.
than it is when the gear selector is in drive position. Technician B says that mainline pressure is higher in reverse than when the gear selector is in the drive position. Which technician is correct?
Mainline pressure. Manual first. Manual. Higher in reverse. A?
Those here.
When the gear selector is in drive position. I don't know. I don't know 9.
Is it both of those? Yeah.
Both?
Yes.
Who can tell me why?
I would like to know
Hey,
why.
I'm gonna give you the captain's seat.
Can you explain 9?
Explain now.
Line pressure
Yeah.
since true, but doesn't change.
Mainline pressure usually higher in manual first and reverse, both. Both those technicians are correct, right?
I think it's because when it's in what's it called? First gear, there's pressure going through. It's actually rotating, which is building up pressure in the motor. And when it's in drive, it's not selected anything, so it's just sitting still. Unless you know. But wouldn't that be the same thing?
Those are your two, if you had a pressure gauge on it and you were measuring the pressure with the engine running,
Yeah.
you would see the pressure go up in reverse and up in manual low. Those are the two positions where it's the highest. That's where it wants the most mainline pressure. The rest of the selections on the gear selector are about the same.
Oh yeah, because in manual first gear, it kind of holds back, so you're not what's it called? Like
So-
going past it. So it's
You're-
building all that pressure.
Those are
Okay.
your two highest pressure selections in the gear selector.
And that's the same with reverse because it doesn't go past a specific limit,
No,
so
in
it just
reverse,
continues to
yep.
build up that pressure. Okay.
Okay, to make sure that I'm following, since I wasn't here yesterday, that's the line pressure is reduced to improve fuel economy because the lower pressure reduces draw on the engine. And then the higher pressures are necessary in reverse because these applied devices are usually smaller or have fewer clutch plates.
Exactly.
Page
Where'd you find that?
1695,
Okay,
where it says typical pressures.
okay, good.
All right, so I'm on the right track with that?
You
Okay.
are exactly right with that.
Okay.
Technician A says ATF is used to cool, clean, and lubricate an automatic transmission. Technician B says ATF is used to operate the shift valves and transmit engine torque.
Both?
Both.
Okay. Okay,
Oh, I left my stuff over here.
okay. So those are the two chapters we did yesterday, right?
Yes.
So everybody was here for obviously 135, 136. If there's anything you wanna go over that, we will.
The PWM, pulse width modulation,
Mhm.
PWM.
Well, what about it?
Pulse width, no, that was one of the questions earlier.
Oh, okay.
Pulse width modulation.
What is this,
Yeah,
ASE?
where does it, where you see that at?
That's 1695, right under electronic pressure regulation, in that little paragraph.
No, okay. Oh, here's these ones. And,
We did this to 20 yesterday, didn't we?
25.
Oh, 25?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see if we can, I guess that's the answer we used to go farther, don't we?
I believe you.
We'll just throw an answer, I don't care if it's right or wrong.
Oh, you got it correct.
Yeah, I gotta get it right once in a while,
I got
right?
that one correct too. No, you're alright. 2-4 band. 2-4 band. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, we got the move.
Don't they randomize it though?
On these, they're gonna come up in the same order,
Okay.
yeah. Let's see, that'll work on that one.
Have you ever had anybody take the ASE and just skip through everything and just guess whatever? Just so you can get out? Because you know how when we do the ASEs, it's, you know, you leave pretty much whenever you're done. Have you ever had anybody just rush through it and just click whatever?
10 minutes, 5 minutes?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
You got too many wrong answers.
too many wrong answers. Okay.
Let's just start from here.
We almost there.
Which of the following is at the center
We'll just
of...
start here.
That is sun, the sun.
Sun gear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's gonna read it?
A vehicle with an automatic 3-speed synchronous transmission slips when it shifts from first to second gear. Technician A says inaccurate timing in asynchronous, I am not saying that right.
Synchronous.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Synchronous transmission
Said it right the
results
first
and slipping and engine flare. Technician B says that early application of the intermediate band is causing this condition. Who is correct?
It's not synchronized, it's A. Wrong,
A?
bad timing.
Okay. It is A.
Which of the following sensors affect the performance of the engine and automatic transmission?
All of them do, right?
Yep. A vehicle, technician performs a stall test on a vehicle with an automatic transmission in drive. The tachometer indicates an engine's RPMs are above specification. Which of the following causing this test result?
In drive.
Okay, doing a stall test. RPM's above specification, meaning it's slipping kinda, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
The clutch slip?
Clutch slipping? Most likely.
Winding oil pump. I remember this one.
Winding noise, front transmission, oil pump, oil pump.
That was personal.
Yes, it
Now
was.
that I answered that question, I think my oil pump is bad because on the way here, I noticed I heard it. I don't like that.
Yeah.
An automatic. Oh.
Which
You know,
this,
it slips only when it's cold. It seems to work okay once it warms up.
Torque converter.
let Tiffany answer.
Yeah, let's let her
Yeah,
answer.
she got two
wasn't here
more.
for these.
I just said C. C.
You just said C?
Mhm.
No.
It's C, hardened seals?
Yes, allow fluid to pass when the seal is cold.
Oh,
It begins
duh.
function as it warms up.
Technician A says to clean the valve body with solvent and a lint-free cloth. Technician B says a bent spool valve can be straightened and reused. Who was correct?
B's wrong.
No.
Okay, sorry.
It's A.
It is a,
During a transmission fluid check, the technician notices the ATF is milky in appearance.
Yeah.
Which of these could be the cause?
strawberry milkshake, what's causing it? If your transmission fluid looks like a strawberry milkshake, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Oh, her?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, it's only me?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
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 because
we
this
went
is
all
how
the way
far
up
we
here.
got.
We did these already.
Yeah, we're gonna give
Oh.
you the last three.
Oh, yeah, it's D. Because it's
Why
not
is that?
overheating, it's not oxidation, it's not slipping, and it's milky. Sounds nasty.
It's got transmission
But it
fluid
tastes
mixed in
good.
with it. The cooler's leaking, which means what? What would happen if the transmission cooler was leaking and you had milky fluid?
Don't you have to replace the radiator?
Exactly, you have to replace the radiator, yeah, that's where your transmission cooler is. And you would have to flush the transmission to get all the strawberry milkshake out of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is one we haven't looked at yet, so everybody should be looking at this except for the guy
C.
who's out of it back there. Hopefully he's still gonna be
Only
okay.
in second gear.
See,
Well, you gotta read it.
I did read it.
We have to read it,
Oh,
mister.
I think it's C.
We have to read it.
An automatic transmission is hard, shifting only in second gear. All other gears are operating correctly. Technician A says this could be caused by a faulty accumulator. Technician B says the accumulator may have a broken spring.
Yeah.
What does the accumulator do, and like what is it, and what does it do?
The accumulator will soften or cushion the shifts a little bit. Takes care of that extra pressure when the clutch applies, so you don't get the harsh
It's
shift.
in 1698.
88?
1698.
98.
So it might be
Accumulator cushions or dampens the applied force during a shift. An accumulator reduces hydraulic pressure surges by temporarily diverting part of the fluid flow in a hydraulic circuit into a parallel circuit or chamber. Accumulators can be described as hydraulic shock absorbers. Oh, I've heard that. Now I know what it is.
Is there a picture?
Because
Yeah,
they
it is reading
absorb
well.
or reduce the shock of the engagement of clutch
Yeah,
or band.
134.16.
Ah, okay.
The accumulator.
It's different places, different transmissions. You'll see a picture of where it's located. In this particular one,
I'll
it's
say C.
1700.
Yeah,
1700.
now I know what that is.
Okay, so what do you think?
C.
Think it's C?
Si, senor.
Okay.
Technician A says that a shift solenoid is a hydraulically controlled device used for shift control.
Maybe.
Technician B says shift solenoids are computer-controlled actuators that can be diagnosed with a scan tool. Who is correct?
It's B. It's an output. Might be both.
Yeah, I think it's C.
Think it's C?
Computer-controlled.
What is it? B? We got somebody that thinks it's just B.
Shift solenoid is
Yeah.
a hydraulically controlled.
Why is it just B?
It's
Because it's only used in electronically controlled transmission, not hydraulically controlled. All right, how cool is this?
not.
Amazing. The electrical item in illustration above represents
So, can we see the picture?
Yes,
pulse
you
width
can.
modulated.
I don't understand what I'm looking at.
Is it
Yeah, I
C?
know you don't.
No clue. I'm trying to look and see if there's anything in the book.
I'll show you what you're looking at.
Is it C?
That one's only got 4 turns. Most of these probably do. You're looking at the bottom side of a relay.
Oh, okay.
Remember those 85 and 86 for the relay coil? This is just a schematic symbol for a diode. This is a despiking diode that prevents voltage
So
spike.
it's A.
No. What are the other options?
Those are common relay terminals, okay? 85, 86, 87, 30, 87A. Okay, so what do you think that is?
Dual throw, a pulse width, a
Said something
single
about a relay.
B.
The long answer?
Can I see the picture
The
again,
long
please?
answer.
Well, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's one.
It's only pointing to 2 spots.
This is just a diode that runs across the relay coil. Terminals 85 and 86 are the relay coil. A relay is just an electromagnetic switch.
What is it, a
So
single
it's
pole
B.
solid state? No. No, I think it's C maybe?
D?
That one doesn't
No,
say.
you already said it's a
Oh,
relay,
solenoid.
so
Yeah.
it has to be a relay.
It's B. I believe in B.
Okay, well, you know it's not C because I already told you it's a relay, right?
Yeah.
That's the only one that doesn't mention relay, right?
So B or D, a single pole.
Dual.
See, there's a single throw solid state and a single pole, and then a single pole dual throw.
I said it's pointing at 2 spots, so it's dual.
Dual. I'll go with Job and say dual. I'll go with B.
I've been saying B the whole time.
Okay,
What do you want? You like D?
I'll go with Oris and Job and say B.
Teamwork makes the dream work. And if
Let's
it's wrong, I
let's see if
apologize.
he's right.
It's B, yeah.
Who said B?
We said B. I said B, he said B.
Charles said, I'm in it too. You all said it. He said it.
Electrical illustration. Oh, that's a different one.
Okay.
Component. Hold on.
He had to click to enlarge.
Component A in the schematic diagram above is.
Now that's the throttle.
We've looked at this
Position.
before, I think, on a different.
Yeah,
Oh,
we look at
position.
one of
It was in the
these.
middle last time.
The connection in the signal circuit for the TP sensors.
What's TP?
splice, And the
Throttle.
signal
Throttle
circuit.
position.
Okay.
I know this is kind of hard to see.
I think it's D, I
Yeah,
think.
there you go. I didn't even see D.
Because that's the.
Okay,
oh, what
so
is
throttle
that?
position sensor, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a 3-wire potentiometer,
Yeah,
right?
Uh-huh.
it's connected. They're same splice. The connection in the reference circuit for the TV sensor. Yeah, I think it's D. And the signal
It's not a
circuit.
splice.
So it's not B or C.
Yeah, because it's just connected. What a connection.
For,
No.
okay, so the connection in a single circuit for the TP, and then that's A, and then D is what? Can I see D again, please?
Okay, hang on a second. That's your throttle position sensor, right?
Uh-huh.
What is this? I
5
can't read that.
5
This is-
volt.
This is your 5-volt reference wire,
Uh-huh.
okay? This is the ground.
Uh-huh.
Ground.
So what is this wire?
That's your center.
Your ground?
This
What's
is
the
the
ground?
ground.
Signal.
Yeah,
Oh.
signal.
Signal
It's a
wire.
signal because
Yeah.
it's pointing.
It's just the line with the arrow there.
Yeah.
That's your signal wire.
Okay.
Okay, so what, so you know it's the signal wire.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What is this?
Connection.
Connection.
Okay. So let's see if that exists. The
Connection. is
connection in the signal circuit.
Signal circuit.
Yeah. A.
Okay. That is what it is. Let me, reduce this a little bit now. Okay.
Technician A says a faulty throttle position sensor affects engine and automatic transmission performance.
Okay.
Technician B says that the throttle position sensor indicates vehicle speed to the transmission control unit.
Yeah. Yeah, both? I think it's both.
Faulty
Okay.
throttle position.
I think it's A because the throttle position doesn't, what's it called, indicate the vehicle speed. That's the RPM.
But doesn't it pick it up
For the
from the
throttle.
ABS?
But that's coming from the throttle position. But ABS is coming from the wheel well.
Right, but doesn't it communicate?
Okay, let's do this. Technician A says a faulty throttle position sensor affects engine and automatic transmission Is that a yes or a no?
That's a yes.
It does. Okay, we know A is right.
Mhm.
The on position sender indicates vehicle speed to the transmission control unit. Yes or no?
Yes, I think.
No, see,
Does not.
that just gives us the
The throttle
RPM.
position sensor, all that does is tell the controller how far open the throttle is. Has nothing to do with,
What's
Speed.
the ABS communicates?
It's based off of the wheel.
What does
How
it stand for?
fast the wheel spins.
What does ABS stand for?
your
And
ABS
low
system.
braking
In
system.
operate-
Your ABS wheel speed sensors are for your wheel speed for each wheel for your analog brake system.
Right,
Yeah.
but it communicates, I
To
just
the
read
cluster on the dash.
that. No, to the, oh, shit. I'm gonna find that, and I'm gonna get back to you, because I just read that shit. Come on. I could've sworn I did.
A 3-speed automatic transmission has a whining noise when first and second gear goes away when it shifts into third. This condition is most likely caused by a worn,
Clutch?
yeah, I was thinking worn clutch, but I was going too fast. Yeah, worn clutch. But the clutch would make like a scraping noise. Huh?
What about the gear set?
That would make it like a grinding scraping noise too.
Could be.
A
B?
band.
Yeah.
Why?
And
Why do you say that? Explain.
Input shaft
explain
bearing.
to us.
Not sure.
Said it sound good.
I'm just guessing. Is that what you're trying to
Input
say?
shaft
I've seen
bearing.
the questions.
I mean, the clutch would make
Okay.
sense though,
Would-
because it goes through first and
Would a
second.
worn band make a whining noise?
No.
What does a band do? It's just,
Seal it.
it just,
Seals.
it just stops the drum, right? It's a
Yeah.
holding device,
The
right?
shaft bearing would
Probably
make a
wouldn't make a
rattling
whining
noise
noise, but
if it were to be messed up.
It's between A and D.
I want to say A because that's the only thing that, well, planetary gear set. Okay, so it was that one.
Not
Oh, the
rotating.
pinions. Okay, that makes sense now. Not rotating,
it
but
says
stationary.
internal
direct
gears
drive.
are
The
not
pinion gears are
rotating,
moving
but
or rotating.
stationary in direct drive. That's why it goes away in third gear,
Yep.
okay?
The transmission oil pump front seal leaks and the pump bushings is worn. Technician A says this could be caused by loose flex plate bolts. Technician B says a misaligned transmission bell housing would cause this wear. Who is correct? Oh, transmission oil pump front seal leaks. Could be, I think it's technician B. Because if the flex plate bolts were loose, it'd just make a noise because it's still bolted to the bell housing.
I think it's B.
Yeah. Incorrect, so it's C.
You're half right. Misalignment in any sense would cause that. So I can't imagine loose flex plates would do it, but I suppose it could. Okay, where are we?
Oh.
We were here, right? Yeah.
Which of the following affects transmission shift points proportional to vehicle speed? The governor. You just went over it. There's your definition. While testing the circuits leading to the transmission control module, a technician should use at least
While testing the circuits.
B. 5 megameter. I don't know how to say it.
Mego.
Mega tester.
Circuits leading.
Testing the circuits leading to the transmission.
Are we supposed to know this?
Don't they only go up to 5?
We didn't go through this. I think they, I just want to look. I think they misspelled maybe O. I think it's supposed to have an A between the G and the O. Let me see. Yeah,
What?
they did.
How do you spell it?
It's supposed to be mega home. They left the A out here.
So
And I know you don't know that, but
It's 10?
most meters like this are 10 mega ohm internal resistance. This
Gotcha.
probably will say somewhere on here.
Is that in the book?
It is, but probably not in this chapter. Anyway, it should be 10. Okay.
An automatic transaxle slips while turning corners. Which of the following is causing this condition? A worn band, the torque converter clutch, low fluid level, the planetary gear set. So transaxle is forward only drive.
This really shouldn't take a lot of thought. This should be an easy question.
Slips while turning corners.
The clutch. Clutch, right?
Is it the planetary gear set?
It slips. Turning corners.
That's really all you need to see. Bingo. If the fluid was low and you go around the corner, doesn't the fluid kind of slosh to one side? And if it was already low, wouldn't it slip for a second maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Technician A says a leaking transmission oil cooler causes pink milky. Didn't we do this?
Oh, yeah, we kind of
Transmission
saw that,
fluid.
didn't we?
Technician B says heat and oxidation can cause pink milky transmission
A.
fluid. And heat and oxidation?
Just A, right? Transmission cooler is messed up.
Technician A says the EPC system regulates line pressure according to engine speed and torque. Technician B says the EPC system may contain a variable force solenoid. Who is correct? Engine speed and torque.
Pressure. Engine speed and torque. Technician B says the EPC system.
Variable force solenoid. Solenoid? Are they both?
You want both of them?
There you go.
Right? We got one that makes a low pitched growling sound, increases with vehicle speed.
Spider gear.
I ain't never heard of spider gear.
Yeah.
Have we even did differential yet?
It pops up in the book, but
For a second, yeah.
I don't even know what it is. And I know we've done it at the dealership.
Where was that picture?
Side bearings.
Maybe it was in the chapter
It's a low
before that.
pitch growling sound.
Must have been in the chapter before that.
What's a differential?
Hmm?
What's a differential?
It's in the rear,
Okay, the picture on
part of the car
sixteen
that
eighty-six.
connects the wheels.
What page?
If you look at the picture on 1686, the actual photograph, not the drawing.
There's a speed sensor.
Rear-wheel drive assembly.
You see those little gears
Side
inside there?
bearings?
These guys, the spider gears.
Where?
Right there in the middle.
Okay.
Pretty much right at the arrow that says final drive. Okay. Low pitch growling sound, probably some sort of bearing, probably, if it's a growling sound. It increases with vehicle speed.
It would probably be that. The spider bearing or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah. No. Spider gears. I want to say. A. Because if it would be more grind. Oh, both. Okay.
No, is that? It's
Oh,
A,
A
right?
is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because if it was grinding, it would make a grinding noise. The bearings, if they're a little loose, it just like rubs against each other.
Side bearings rotate in all gears, make a whining noise, rumbling sound increases with vehicle speed. All right.
Technician A says the transmission control module uses the engine coolant temperature sensor's input for torque converter clutch control. Technician B says the throttle position sensor has replaced the hydraulic governor in the electronic transmissions. Uses the engine coolant temperature sensors.
Is it C?
Does the transmission control module care what the engine coolant temperature is in regards to the torque converter clutch?
No,
Sure does.
it does? What tractor is that in?
Don't know.
I mean,
Yesterday, I'm like, oh. this is
Probably
about
on
to
page 1680.
you want coolant so it doesn't get hot,
be-
right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
keeps it
it
cool.
says control module.
And, oh yeah,
The control
because
module uses the
it wants the-
coolant temperature sensors.
it wants to know the temperature because if it gets too hot, it slows itself down. So it doesn't
does.
continue slippage.
Yeah, yeah, because the coolant
And it also
absorbs
will
the
not
extra
engage when the
heat.
engine's not warmed up yet.
That one too.
Yeah,
I
and
can
it
find the
absorbs the
answer.
extra heat,
I remember
okay.
this from earlier.
What
Okay.
about B?
So what about B?
Says throttle position, oh wait, has replaced the hydraulic governor.
What does that mean?
Throttle position sensor has replaced the hydraulic governor.
Okay,
Throttle
what it's saying
position.
is, in electronic transmission,
The
the
governor's.
throttle position sensor has replaced the old hydraulic governor
Yeah.
because they don't have this in this.
Yeah, in the old, it said it on the book somewhere, I can't remember the page, but it said it's starting to get rid of the what's it called, the governors, they're starting to use other things.
Yeah, they don't use governors anymore.
So it's C,
But has it replaced it?
not yet,
Has the throttle position sensor replaced it?
so it's A, okay, good. At least I knew A was good, I feel good about that. They said it was starting.
The reason the throttle position sensor didn't replace the governor is because the throttle position sensor doesn't measure vehicle speed. Governor's been replaced with the vehicle speed sensor. That's why B was wrong.
Can we see the question
Want to
again,
revisit
please?
the question?
Yeah, wait.
Okay.
I'm confused.
Technician A says the transmission control module uses the engine coolant temperature sensors input for torque converter clutch control.
Okay,
See, that's what it's telling me, it's using the coolant temperature sensor for the clutch control.
You want to get to like 25
technician A
miles per
is
hour.
correct.
Yeah, okay.
That's a yes. Okay? The control modules share sensor information, okay? So you'll need one coolant temperature sensor for everything that wants to know what the coolant temperature is. Because it'll send that information to the PCM, it'll communicate with the TCM. That way you don't have to have a sensor for each control module. They all
Right.
share information.
And then when the transmission fluid, when it gets too hot, that excess heat goes to the coolant, absorbs it.
Actually, what happens if the transmission temperature gets too hot, it will lock the torque converter clutch up and try to reduce slippage. It'll probably disable overdrive, try to cool the transmission down.
Yeah, and then
Okay,
does
but
it
it is gonna
coolant-
use the engine coolant temperature as well. It is gonna have a TFT or transmission fluid temperature sensor as well.
Okay.
But it's just asking, is it using the engine coolant temperature for torque converter clutch control? That's all it's asking.
Yeah,
It does.
it does, okay.
This guy says that the throttle position sensor has replaced the governor in electronics. So what does the governor do? Measures the speed and the hydraulically control it. Does the throttle position sensor measure speed? No. That's why B is wrong. The vehicle speed sensor replaced the governor. Okay.
A vehicle with an electronic automatic transmission has problems with shift timing and is hunting for gears. A scan indicates several sensors and shift solenoids are faulty. Technician A says to replace the sensors and erase the fault codes. What will that fix?
B.
Technician B says to inspect the circuits leading to these components. Yeah, B.
That's an easy question, right?
Yeah, why don't you just get rid of it?
doesn't
Yeah.
fix the problem.
Technician A says, replace the sensor and erase the codes. Have a nice day. That'll fix it. This guy says, why don't you actually diagnose it?
Yep.
Kind of, right? Okay. Automatic transmission has no dipstick. After bringing the transmission up to operating temperature, moving the plug, no fluid is seen dripping from the
Technician A
oven.
is wrong.
Technician A says, it's normal, fluid level is correct.
Technician B is
An overheated transmission.
right. There's no oil.
But if it was overheated, it would show signs of overheating.
Exactly. But if it's overheating and there's no oil, there's nothing to cool it. Cool it, the cooler does, but it's not gonna work.
No
if the oil's
transmission
on.
fluid is seen dripping. That's a problem.
I know for a fact A is not there, isn't right. A is completely wrong.
Yeah. A
Okay,
is wrong.
if A is wrong, what should you see when you pull the plug?
Dripping.
A
Yeah,
drip
you
at
should see
least
trickling.
one every 10 seconds or
Yeah,
something
you
like
should
that.
see just a drop of fluid, maybe a drop a second, something like
A
that. It
drop
should,
of
a little bit of
fluid,
fluid should be
something
coming out of there.
Yeah.
It shouldn't run out, and it shouldn't be, there shouldn't be nothing,
Yeah.
okay? So,
It's not normal.
Heated transmission.
Neither.
so
Is
A
it
is
just-
wrong,
It
okay?
doesn't necessarily indicate that it's overheated, does it?
Oh,
What
it
does it
says
say?
it brings it to operating temperature, so yeah, it's not overheated, so D.
Yep. D, we know that's not normal, it
It
should have a
clearly
little fluid
says up
coming out of
there, it
there.
brings it to operating temperature.
Yeah. Technician B says that indicates it overheated. Well, no, just because it's low on fluid, that's not an indication it overheated.
Which of these automatic transmission bearings require a preload?
One that just slid, if it was on food.
Preload.
Well, is it either A or B?
What was your question?
I don't remember C or D.
Ball?
The
If it was
thrust
low enough, it would,
bearings,
Yep.
because the ball bearings just makes it seal. The thrust
Mhm.
bearings, I think you're supposed to oil
Yeah.
that before you put it in, correct? Am I wrong? If I'm being honest, I don't even remember the tapered roller bearings or the
I-
needle bearings.
I don't either. I
But
think
if it's talking
B.
about a preload,
What is this?
Shiny.
She says shiny.
That's the big bearing. Is that the tapered
That's,
roller bearing?
that's one of those.
Where do
Only
we
one
see
of
that?
these types of bearing requires preload when you install it.
This is fun.
With Chpts.
That happens to be a wheel bearing, but it could be the same type of bearing that was in a transmission.
I would, oh, wait a minute, Needle was from last week. We did needle bearings last week, I think.
Oh,
Let's see, where,
Yeah, I think we did needle last week.
I don't know if it's gonna be in here.
tapered roller bearings.
I know the ball bearings, they stay inside for that seal, right? If I recall correctly.
Yeah.
I believe it's B. I wanna go with B.
He just said it's tapered roller bearings.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was talking about something else.
So why does these need to be preloaded? Is it talking about like the bearings itself? Or what is
Okay.
it talking about?
Preload
Okay,
means.
so let me, where's the bearing at? Okay. Let's say this is what you were installing the bearing in, okay, this is a bearing race, which typically, this is obviously the wrong size. But if this was the right size, this would fit perfectly in here, okay? So whenever this is installed in, as you can see, the harder you pushed on this, the more pressure would put on these bearings, right? And if there was too much, it would wear it out, right?
Mhm.
And if it wasn't enough, it'd be a little loose.
Okay.
So what you have to do is you have to set what the preload is, just basically how tight this is, okay? Should have a little bit of end play in it,
Okay.
okay? Tapered roller bearings are the only type of bearings that require a preload, and this is why. Ball bearings are similar to roller bearings. The cages hold the balls instead of the rollers, capable of handling heavy radial loads. Thrust washers control end play, and needle or Torrington bearings reduce friction between two rotating parts. They do not require a preload. Okay, we're already there.
The extension housing seal leaks and the bushing is worn on one side.
Technician A says a binding
Universal joint could be the cause. Technician B says excessive output shaft end play has caused this condition.
If you look at your picture that I gave you, extension housing, that is this piece right here, typically is a separate piece. This is the seal,
Okay.
where the drive shaft goes. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about the seal where the drive shaft goes.
That's the seal right there.
Very right side of the picture that you got earlier, that you were trying to
It looks
identify
like a snow
pieces
cone.
of.
This one right here.
It looks like a solo cup,
Yeah.
a styrofoam solo cup. Universal joint could be the cause. Technician E says excessive output shaft end play has caused this.
What does universal joint do?
Are you sure?
What does universal joint do? Anybody know?
No.
The only option.
Oh, this movement.
It allows something to rotate at an angle without binding, okay? So let's say this was your drive shaft, it's never gonna be perfectly straight usually. You're gonna have a little bit of angle to it. So those universal joints at each end allow this to rotate smooth and not be at a perfectly straight angle. Okay? If you had one that was binding, remember the extension housing is where the drive shaft goes into the back of the transmission and the output shaft, right? If you had one that was binding, would it cause bushing, that brass bushing, the extension housing to wear on one side?
Yeah, it could.
It might, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what about excessive end play in the output shaft?
Yeah.
End play meaning this way.
Yeah.
Would it cause it to wear one side?
It could.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say, let me see what I can use here. Okay, we'll use this little pilot bearing thing here. So, let's say this was the extension housing where the drive shaft goes. There's an oil seal here, okay? Let's say this was a drive shaft. Goes in like this. Okay. So, if the U-joint was binding, and every time this turned, it would kind of want to do this, right? That would cause it, right? If it had too much end play this way, would that cause the seal to wear on one side?
Yes.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Cause it's wearing right there on that one side.
No, if it just had too much end play, it would just go in and out a little bit more than it should,
So A is right.
right? I don't know, let's see. I'm guessing.
You don't know?
Of course I know.
Doesn't remind me of something.
Okay. Transmission start. Slipping, transmission fluid is dark, smells burnt.
It's most likely causing this condition. Dark and smells burnt.
What are our options here?
Forward clutch, low roller clutch, differential case bearings, torque converter clutch.
The fluid is dark and smell. Oh, I smelled that. That's
Overburn
nasty.
clutch. Oh, it's not even on there.
The fluid.
It wouldn't be the differential case bearings because that's in the differential, not the transmission. The low roller clutch. The forward clutch.
How does the
torque
chart help
converter.
us?
This tells you what's applied in each gear. So our forward clutch is applied in all of these gears, right? The overrun in these, here's your gears, overdrive, drive.
Would it be forward clutch? Because that's in everything.
Would it be?
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
Because that's put on everything.
Mhm.
It's over exerted.
Plus, the roller or square clutch doesn't contain friction material, so that wouldn't cause the fluid to get dark, right? This would make a rumbling sound. Torque converter clutch has nothing to do with it. Electronic symbol.
That is a
Signal.
variable resistor. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. A variable resistor.
Yeah, exactly what it is, right? This is a symbol for a resistor.
And then the line through
And
it is
if it has
variable.
a line to it with like a little arrow there, it means it's a variable resistor, meaning it could go from here to here, changing resistance.
I always wondered who the hell came up with these damn signs. And what made them pick that.
Okay, can anybody see this? Let's see. Let's see if we can see it now. Refer to the chart above. Which gear ratio best represents overdrive? Can you see that back there?
I can't see the options.
Actually, you shouldn't need to see the options,
Second
but we
gear.
can see them.
Third gear.
4,
It's,
8,
it's,
No.
no, isn't it the lower?
B.
Yeah. 'cause
Why
it's
is it B?
Lower, the lower the ratio, the more overdrive.
Remember, overdrive is anything less than 1 to 1. Right?
I remember that, oh shit.
All right. Shouldn't even need the chart.
A transaxle spinal drive assembly has been replaced. Use which of the following to measure ring gear backlash? Ring gear
I know we didn't cover this, but that's why we're doing it, in case you get asked something.
backlash.
Well,
The final drive unit
Yeah, I was
is
gonna say that.
basically the differential assembly in the transaxle, okay?
Wouldn't use a filler
Use
gauge.
which of the following to measure ring gear backlash?
Backlash.
What is it?
C.
You are the man. Dial indicator will always indicate end play, backlash, or run out on something.
Where are my boys in the back? They're so quiet. Oh, he has a-
Well, one of them's sleeping and the other one's, he's
Come on.
observing. Are you learning? Are you seeing it? Are you doing okay?
I'm the one sitting in the room, so I'm just looking. I was like, I was sure in my head, and then, oh, well, yeah, I got it right. Well, I got it wrong.
You can see it okay though?
Yeah, I can see it.
Because you can move up to the middle row. Or you can move up to the front row and I can pick on you.
Technician A says an automatic transmission, multiple friction disc clutch, can drive a member of the planetary gear set. Technician B says a multiple friction disc clutch can ground a member to the transmission case.
C.
Meaning it can lock it to the transmission case or stop it.
Hmm?
Multiple friction disc
Wow.
clutch can drive a member.
And ground. Oh, that one.
Let's see
Drive
what
a
we can
member and ground a member. So drive a member of the planetary gear set or ground a member
1698,
to the
you will find an
transmission.
answer to that,
8.
if you choose to check it out. Where it says two types of clutches.
2, 2. A is right so far.
Okay,
I think B is also right.
I think they're both right. Because they are. Okay,
Can I see the question again?
hold and drive. They used the word ground, but what they meant was to stop it or ground it to the case. Yes, you can see the question again if I can find it. Okay, there you go.
Can drive a member, okay. Can ground, yeah, that's what I thought it said. Okay, thank you.
An automatic transmission will not shift out of park. Technician A says a faulty shift interlocks solenoid will result in this condition. Technician B says this could be caused by a faulty brake switch, but it's in park. Will not shift out of park.
That's questions for you, Karen.
Damn. This question or the next question?
This question,
Okay.
you get number 49, all by yourself.
Will not shift out of park.
This is a faulty ship.
You get in your car, you start it up, and you can't get it out of park.
Faulty brake switch. It could be a brake, because of the brakes.
Can you read it okay?
Yeah.
One guy says it's a faulty shift interlock solenoid. The other guy says the brake switch could be bad.
I'm going with A.
Go with A?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't go through.
What does the shift interlock solenoid do?
It sends a
It
signal.
releases the shifter so you can get it out of park when you hit the brake. Could the brake switch be bad and not know you put your foot on the brake?
Yeah.
So both.
Both.
Right?
Yeah. Technician A says the test ports to retrieve hydraulic pressure readings for the line, clutch, and servo circuits are located on the transmission case. Test ports to retrieve hydraulic pressure readings for the line, clutch, and servo circuits are located. Technician B says to perform air pressure tests before and after transmission disassembly.
I know,
Why would you do it before or
Yeah.
after?
yeah. I don't remember before. Or, no, and that's disassembly, not,
Yeah, I
Put
could
it
understand
back
after,
together.
but before, why do it before? If you're gonna disassemble it, you should already know that something's wrong.
It's like C.
I think it's A.
are they located there at the on the transmission case? I don't remember.
What did my man in the back row say?
C.
You like C? Let's see if he's right.
Oh, there you go.
I'd like an explanation.
I'd like an explanation. After removing the valve body, test ports are available for air testing of individual circuits. Test plates label and identify the different circuits, retrieve the transmission's manufacturer's test specifications, identify the desired circuit, and apply low air pressure. Let's see A real quick. Perform a hydraulic pressure test to diagnose hard shifting and poor shift timing. The transmission service manual provides these test port locations. A pressure difference beyond specifications, usually 8 to 15 psi, indicates a leak in the circuit. Check the manufacturer specific before proceeding. I don't know why I can't say specification. I'm just
Just did.
saying it by itself.
As soon as you say you can't say it, that's
I
when
say
it
it.
happens.
After a
Okay.
long drive, red fluid is seen in the transmission case of the vehicle's chassis. Technician A said this can be caused by fluid aeration. Technician B says this could be caused by engine overheating.
Both?
Both.
Okay.
There are metal flakes and shavings at the bottom of the transmission's oil pan. Which of the following is
Van.
causing the debris?
Warn.
Clutch.
D.
Flakes and shavings. So I want to say the
D.
clutch would just cause dust, which would make that normal. You said if you see metal
Oh.
shavings.
You like D?
Yeah.
A,
D?
is
How
this
come?
normal? This is normal.
Because it's
No.
like metal flakes and shading. If you see metal, it's bad.
Yeah.
A, it's normal.
This is a friction material, this is a friction material, you should not see
Yeah.
metal
I
flakes.
told you earlier, if you see metal flakes and everything, it's not normal. It's thick like that because as you travel, the dust and stuff from the clutch gets in it, which thickens it.
Yeah, and
Not
some of
metal
that's the
shavings.
metal, some of it's,
No.
No, the metal shavings you don't want to see because that means shit in there is grinding.
oh,
The clutch
That was
is
enough.
good.
What's that?
Somebody at the shop forgot to tighten like something up and something up like
Timing belt.
the timing belt.
Uh-huh.
And then we just had to check for metal shavings and stuff to see if it like broken off or something like that. That's how I remember it.
Okay, you're right.
Experience.
This is the only thing that would give you metal shavings, gear teeth. This is friction material. And no,
Oh,
it's not normal,
friction material.
right?
Friction material.
A vehicle with an automatic transmission creeps forward in neutral. Is that right?
Yeah.
Which of the following is most likely causing this condition?
This is a clutch disc, okay? This is the friction material, okay? Same thing like a brake pad. Your brake pads wear out, right? Your brake pads are your friction material, okay? So that's what they're referring
The
to.
manual valve.
Creeps forward in neutral.
Manual valve.
Automatic transmission creeps forward in neutral. Is it supposed to do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
In neutral?
No, drive.
Oh, creeps forward, it just rolls forward, coasts forward.
It's supposed
It's
to in
creeping
drive, but
forward.
it's not supposed to do it in neutral, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're in neutral, depending on where you're at, if you're on a slope or not, it'll just roll. But if you're just flat,
Right.
like a nice spot, you're just gonna stay still. But if it's creeping forward,
That's why I
that
asked you if
might
that
be
was right.
the. I didn't think of it. That might be the pressure regulator valve. Maybe. No.
It's
Yeah.
creeping.
This one will make you think for a minute, but once you know the answer, it'll be obvious.
It's a neutral. It's creeping. It shouldn't be.
Shift valve.
Shift or throttle?
Is it the throttle valve? D.
I don't know, is it?
I believe so.
What does Charles think it is?
Throttle.
Huh?
See, shift valve.
Why?
You think it's C? Okay. What does Terrence think it is? C?
What does it do? What does a shift valve do?
What does Nasser think it is? What's that? You don't know what you think?
Yeah. What is it and what does it do?
Hey Siri,
I think it's D.
what is a shift valve?
For instance, the 1 to 2 shift valve determines when to shift from first to second gear. The shift valve is pressurized with fluid from the governor on one side and then the throttle valve on the other. This is from how stuff works.
I was going through my settings when they brought out that new thing, and I was listening to the.
Sound like Charles
You
talking.
just sounded funny.
Like the Indian Jarvis.
Really? That's crazy.
Lazy.
Okay. Anybody come up with an answer?
I still think it's D.
You think it's D?
I don't have the explanation right now, but that will tell you if I'm right.
No.
Okay.
What was that? What was B?
It was the
Okay.
manual one.
Manual valve.
Let's look at it again.
Wow.
Why is it the manual valve?
Are you in a manual car?
It doesn't have to be a
Remember,
manual
this
car.
is the one that this is the one that directs the fluid, right?
Yeah.
So let's say your shift cable is out of adjustment. The car was in neutral on the shifter, but it was actually part way in gear on the manual valve, and it creeped forward because it was allowing fluid to flow where it shouldn't be.
I still think it was D. We're removing a torque converter from an automatic transmission. The technician should inspect the torque converter's hub for discoloring, nicks, scratches, and burrs. Measure the depth of the torque converter into the transmission bell housing before
Both?
removal.
Both?
After you remove the torque converter, what should you do? Should you
Think
measure the
it's-
depth of the torque converters into the transmission bell housing before you remove it?
Yeah.
Should you inspect the hub for discoloration, nicks, scratches, anything that's messed up in it?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, this one gives a picture?
That's just the answer to the. By the way, if you install a torque converter in transmission, it's going to go in, and then you're gonna have to kind of rotate it with your hand and push it at the
When I
same
first
time.
looked
And
at it,
it'll click like 3 times before it's all the way in.
okay.
Once it's all the way in, you shouldn't be able to get your fingers behind it.
Shouldn't?
No.
Okay.
It should be, let's say you were trying to get your fingers in between the torque converter and the bell housing here. You should not be able to get your fingers in here once it's all the way in.
Have you ever built an automatic transmission? You want to help me out?
Okay, we're gonna do one more, we got a staff meeting,
Okay.
so we're gonna get you out of here after this question.
Alright, after overhauling an automatic transmission, the input shaft is binding and has no end play. Technician A says installing the transmission and driving the vehicle will correct this condition. Technician B says a thinner selective washer may be required.
B. Why would you drive it?
If it's binding and has no end play, are you just gonna put it in the car and say it'll fix itself? Hell no,
Exactly. B.
right? What does the selective washer do? If you had a thinner washer, it would give you a little bit more end play, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Okay. B is correct.
I'm a smart fella.
Okay.
What are we doing tomorrow? Oh, and are we gonna get the where are we going?
Yep, we're gonna do deal assignments, we're gonna do 2 tests, and we're gonna spend the morning getting prepared for these tests.
We're
Like
picking our dealerships?
picking our
I thought we were gonna do that today.
What,
Picking our dealership.
you wanna do it right now? Fine with me.
I wanna stay at Honda for this week and then I'll go to the next one.
Nissan.
I'm still trying to save a little. I'm ready. Because
Okay,
these gas cards ain't enough for my 11 miles per gallon.
okay. You wanna go to the Nissan store?
Me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Land Rover, that's right.
I'm staying at Honda. Honda easy. But if anybody else wants to go, I'm fine with that.
Okay,
Nissan. Nissan.
oh, you're the one that said Nissan, huh?
Yes.
If you see a GTR, send me a picture. Not a R35.